Hey guys, Fran here with Ramsley Fitness, and I'm coming with another presentation. And this time we're going to explore the cost of health per se. Okay, what does it cost to get good groceries, to make sure the food you put in your body is good? Figure out if this is something that is truly expensive and hard for most people to accomplish, or if maybe there's a little bit of a myth going on, and that there's this notion out there that healthy food is more expensive than cheap food, and that for most people it's an impossibility to go to the grocery store and be productive while trying to be healthy at the same time. Okay, so to start, like every video, the concept that we're going to go in to the rest of this video with is, what's it worth to you? Okay, and I ask that because everybody has a different answer. Okay, I know what everybody's answer should be, but that doesn't mean that that's going to be that person's answer today. Okay, your own answer might not be the same answer you'd give me in a week, a month, 5 years from now. Okay, it's a very tough question. It's a simple, few little words, but the answer is a lot more complex. Okay, you have to answer that for yourself. What's it worth to you? For me, this is my passion. To me, it's priceless. I would do anything for health. And it's not just my health. My company exists to help others with their health. But you're going to have to ask yourself that. Don't answer just because I answered that. You figure out what your own answer is. Is it really important to you? What's it mean to you? Okay, what's it mean, health, to you? Being healthy, being fit, being low body fat percentage. You got to figure out what it means to you. Quote by Colonel Sanders: "There's no reason to be the richest man in the cemetery. You can't do any business from there." Okay, now what does that quote? What does that mean to you? Okay, it's not about dying with all your money or anything like that. It's not even about money. It's about dying what I view prematurely. Okay, there's the article that I've linked there to my website, and I will include in the video a clickable link so it's easier to click to. But I wrote an article about health should be people's number one investment, and yet, when we hear this term investing, what comes to mind? IRAs, your different retirement accounts, investing in the stock market. Okay, nobody talks about health. And in my article, I proposed the question: what happens when you save up money for a future where you're not even in it? I think it's a tough question to answer, right? It's a tough question to ask. People are scared to, ask these sorts of deep, confrontational questions. But let's be honest. We have 66% of people overweight or obese. We know being overweight and obese increase your risk of cardiovascular disease, diabetes, cancer, of almost any horrible disease that you can imagine. Your chances of getting it are worse if you're obese or overweight. So my question is, you get a job when you're 25 years old, you put a little piece of your paycheck away, every single paycheck, $200, $100, whatever it is, into a retirement account. What if you're somebody that's overweight, obese, you're maybe 30s, 40s, and maybe in your 50s you develop diabetes. In your 50s you develop cardiovascular disease, clogged arteries, you need open heart surgery. What happens? What happens to that retirement account? What happens if, worst case scenario, you pass away early, 50 years old? What happens to your retirement account? What good did that serve you to sit there and try to put away money and make riches when you weren't taking something right in front of you that needs the utmost importance, which is your health? And I'm not here to bash people. Again, I'm not bashing anybody if you are somebody who is overweight, obese, have health issues. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm telling people is, you have to get serious about health, about your own very health, especially when you think about the future concept. It doesn't do you any good to think about a future if you're setting yourself up for an environment that makes it highly likely or more probable of an early grave. What does that do? And I'm not here to guilt anybody and trip anybody. These are facts. All right, let's get out of this hard stuff. Food. food. Okay, food also being part of your health and nutrition. You have to have a priority of consuming nutrition and food items that are going to be beneficial for your fitness goals. Okay, getting pizza all the time, getting fried chicken all the time, getting McDonald's all the time, that's not going to help you at all in anything to do with fitness. Okay, it's going to make it worse, and that's what's going to lead to the path that we discussed in the previous slide. A couple points I have here. Organic is not a priority. It is maximization. Okay, I don't want to hear that because you can't buy organic food, that means that you're not buying healthy food. Okay, organic, the whole idea of organic is to increase the value of nutrition that you're getting from the food product. That does not mean that if the food product is not organic, that it is a bad food source. Okay, understand what I'm saying very clearly. Organic food is maximizing a food source. It is not making that food necessarily healthy or unhealthy. Okay, here's how I would prioritize organic. Number one priority is going to be your meat. Okay, organic meat has a higher percentage of CLA and healthy fats as compared to non-organic meat. So if you are going to go organic, you have extra money to spend, or you're looking to figure out you can only buy organic in one thing or another, I highly prioritize meat. And that doesn't mean now that you get organic, necessarily fat-free organic, like chicken, like lean chicken, okay? For instance, if you have a choice between ground beef that's organic or chicken that's organic, I would advise getting the ground beef because the ground beef contains more fat than chicken does, okay? The hormones, the lack of all the antibiotics, that's good too, but honestly, the CLA, extra CLA and fat and health priorities there's just an added benefit versus getting something that's fat-free, okay? My number two priority for organic food would be dairy items. Why dairy? Well, dairy has a higher concentration coming from animal sources of fat content. Cheese, yogurt, cottage cheese, any of those sort of items, organic, as the fat content again is going to be more rich with nutrients. It's going to be higher levels of CLA. And then third, I would prioritize fruits and vegetables. Okay, but all those things in between, super unnecessary. If you're going to go buy organic potato chips, organic crackers, organic this, organic that, all this gluten-free stuff, you're spending your money on health claims that aren't necessarily true, that you're, placing that additional money in a food source that may not be delivering what is promising to you better health. Okay? That's how I would get around that topic, because that's a big topic you get is, oh my God, organic food's so expensive. Yeah, it is, which is why you got to really prioritize what you're going to buy there. What categories mean the most to you? I've laid out what I think it is, and I'm supported by research, but if you want to put your priority, let's say you're a vegan, okay, maybe you place your priority then in fruits and vegetables for your organic materials or your organic food choices. Okay. Number 2 point, protein's expensive. Okay, if you go to the meat section, butcher's there, section of any grocery store, it's going to be the most expensive probably of the food items you're going to buy. Okay, but protein is absolutely essential for lean tissue growth as well as fat loss. So again, it's an area that you're going to spend. Now you can become creative. Okay, tuna is a super cheap form of protein. You buy a can of tuna for 99 cents. Gives you 20 grams of protein. So I would highly recommend tuna if you're going to be somebody that's on a budget-conscious diet. And I don't care if you don't like tuna, learn to like it. I learned to like it. I hated it. I thought it smelled like cat food, right? I opened it up. It was a disaster. When I was first learning to eat tuna, I put the thing in a skillet. I dump it in a skillet, put Worcester sauce everywhere, mayonnaise everywhere. I mean, I tried to get over the taste. And eventually, your body gets used to it, just like everything else. And now, to me, it tastes like chicken. I don't know. I can't explain to you exactly how that method works, man, why it works that way. Just telling you, look, tuna, if you're somebody that's looking for a low-budget grocery bill, tuna is the way to go for protein. Okay, also, and then you're going to have to make up how much protein you want to get from other sources, right? So in terms of like chicken, beef, turkey, I don't expect you to buy 5 pounds of each of those, but, if you're going to look at, depends on how much money you have, but, chicken's a priority, you can get chicken as a priority. I'm not saying buy all this meat in the world, but there's no reason you can't buy a couple cans of tuna, some chicken, and maybe have a little bit left over for some lean ground beef. Protein is expensive, but it is one of the most priority categories of macronutrients that you're going to buy. Dairy as well is part of protein, believe it or not. And dairy can run a nice hefty price again. So the emphasis needs to be there, though. Fruits and veggies, on the other hand, are not typically expensive. Okay, you can get a bushel of apples for $3. Vegetables, asparagus, green beans, anything that you can think of, you're going to probably spend no more than $5, $6, $7 tops for an above average size, like multiple servings of vegetables. So again, stock up on fruits and vegetables. And skip the processed carbs. Chips, crackers, those things in between, they run pretty expensive for what you get. I mean, you can get, like crackers and granola bars, and they're like $3, $4, a pop here, and it adds up very, very quickly. So skip out on things in between. You can get a sack of potatoes for like $5, $6, $7, I think, depending on what store you go to. And if you go to something like an Aldi, they're even cheaper there. And here I've listed 2 links to grocery bills or grocery lists. Okay, if you go there, one's a $100 grocery bill, and the other one's a $75 grocery bill. So, I don't want to hear that it's expensive and it's impossible to do. I understand it can be challenging, especially if you don't follow every little detail of the grocery store. But that's why I'm making this video. I'm sharing information with people. I'm sharing how to make the most bang for your buck, how to prioritize health without spending a cajillion dollars. I understand that. I'm here to help. That's what I'm trying to do. And then my last part, training. Okay, what's your plan? Okay, eating good is one part. Eating well is one part. You have to get the right nutrients in your body. But the other part is, what are you doing for physical activity? Are you doing the right sorts of exercise, the right sorts of, cardio or strength training? What are you doing? What's your plan? The first point, without a plan, you're destined for only failure. And I can't stress this enough, how often people go into the gym without a workout, like without a planned out, very thoroughly thought through workout plan. They don't record the workouts. They don't know how much weight they did last time. They don't know for how many reps they lifted that weight. Without tracking, how can you imagine to progress? You need to be tracking your workouts, and you need to have a plan. If you don't know how to create plans, get one for free online. Number 2, the cost of personal training. Okay, I get this too. Personal training runs between $40 to $60 an hour. Okay, and in order to be effective, I recommend 2 to 3 days with a personal trainer, and then that personal trainer should be able to craft a plan for the rest of the days. Okay, so when you think about it, you're spending a couple $100 a month. So yes, unless you have a decent paying job, let's say you have student loans, you live by yourself, so you pay rent by yourself, pay for your own groceries, pay for your own gas. Traditional personal training may not be an option for you. But for some people, you got to take a look at yourself sometimes and really ask yourself, are you being real? Are you being serious that instead of just seeing a price tag on something, can you actually weigh the pros and cons and decide if it's ultimately worth it? I think too often we judge things based on cost. I mean, this is everything from headphones. I mean, look at headphones. Dr. Dre Beats, right? Best headphones out there. If somebody went out and just looked at price tags, looked at the Beats and said, well, what the heck, I ain't buying those. I can get these ones over here for $7. There's quite a difference there. You got to understand value that you're returning. So, if somebody is let's say they have a decent paying job, your bills are relatively low, you're saving up for retirement, you're able to do that, and you're going out and spending money on different things, and, you may look into personal training and may or may not be able to afford it, but shouldn't you weigh the benefit that you would receive from personal training versus just looking at the price tag and saying, oh, holy crap, that's expensive? Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Price is relative. It's different for everybody. And then my third point here, which offsets that entire point I just made, online training. My online interactive fitness specialist program it now costs $125 a month. Significantly cheaper than our cheapest personal training package. which currently runs $360 at this time a month. So it's a third of the price. Now, you get no human interaction. We're not there to instruct. I only accept certain people into the program. Not everybody gets in. You have to be commitment. You have to be able to commit, show that you're able to do things on your own, hold yourself accountable. But it's an option. And again, people will look at that and say, look, it's $125. That's all they see. What they don't see is that your entire fitness plan now is taken care of for you. There are no more excuses. $125 a month is $62.50 per paycheck if you're paid every 2 weeks. Now, some of you are absolutely clowning yourselves. Yeah, that's right, I said it. I said it. Some of you are clowning, absolutely clowning yourselves by looking at price and saying, I can't afford it. You are the same people, some of you, that buy a case of beer a week. $30 for a case of beer times 4 is $120 a month. It's almost the entire personal training package for online. Some of you in summer months go golfing every week, $30 to $50 a pop. There are things in life that people are willing to give up. I'm not telling you should give up any of those things for an online training program. I'm not here to tell you and preach to you about what you should do with your money and what you should not do with your money. I'm asking you to weigh things rationally, logically, think through things, compare, and come to the decision yourself. But to have a knee-jerk reaction to any sort of investment and say, that's too expensive, right off the bat. No. I'm overweight and I have significant health risk factors, but no. I can't afford $125 a month. Can't do it. Can't afford to take the risk, or I'm too nervous. That's an individual choice, but to have the knee-jerk reaction to any sort of investment in yourself is one of the biggest talks of crazy talk I have ever heard in the fitness industry. Your health needs to be your number one investment in this life. If you invest in your health, you elongate your time on this planet. All the other things that you do for the future, and no, I'm not telling you don't invest in a retirement account. I know some people like to take things out of context. I'm not telling you at all what to do with your money. I'm just saying you need to weigh and balance things and logically look at things and see if there's a way to get serious about stuff. A lot of people don't want to get serious. They want to come on and have things handled. They want to take supplements that promise weight loss. They want to take fat burners, not go to the gym. I get it. People want things quick. But those things do not work. So instead of just looking at price tags, instead of just looking at how fast something works, you need to weigh if it works, period. If it gets you to your goal or not. Then you come back and assess the price. Then you come back and look at your finances and see if you can afford something. But first, you better weigh what the heck you're looking at and see if that's going to work for you. It's why I rattle so hard on small group fitness, or even now, large group fitness. I understand it's cheaper, yes, but is that the first question you should be asking yourself? Is, hey, look, I can pay $10 for this class versus paying $40 for a personal trainer. Is that really the first question you should ask? I think instead you should ask, is this maximizing my potential for success? Is this going to work for me? It's not about price at the end of the day. It's all, as you can tell, I'm very, very passionate about this subject, okay? Health in general. Just, this is why I do this for a living. I can't help myself. I cannot. So yes, I will be called mean by some people. Some people will call me heartless. I don't understand. But I'm telling you, I work with people on a daily basis. through our company where we deal with people who come to us with fitness goals, variety of fitness goals, and we work together to accomplish them. And by God, these people work their butts off, and we do the planning, and they do the work. We just plan and help. We empower people to achieve success. It's ultimately up to you guys. It's up to the viewers of this video. You decide how you progress, and what does expensive mean to you? Can you succeed, or do you turn a blind eye and say, I'll get there eventually? It's up to you people. I'm just playing my part in this, and I'm willing to help anybody that asks for it. Ask anybody on my Facebook. If they come to me with a question, do I turn them away and automatically demand they pay me? No. I try to help people. Whoever reaches out to me, I help. Even this video, this was a suggestion video. Maybe it wasn't exactly what they had in mind. Maybe they wanted me to focus on a little more, a different slide. But look, I'm taking this opportunity to expand. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, it's up to you. Nobody's going to make you do anything. You have to convince yourself one way or the other of what you're going to do, and or talk yourself out of it. Only so many facts that can be presented. Only so much advice I can give. Every person makes their own decisions. And I respect every single person and every decision they make. What's your plan? Health. What's it mean to you?